Hey folks, Chris here with MPC Remote Starts. Today I'm going to show you how to take this remote car starter and install it into this 2025 Jeep Wrangler Push-to-start. So let's get started. All right, to get started on this install, we're going to have to access the connectors. To do so, we're going to get it behind this center portion of the dash. So right underneath here, there's like a door. So you're going to go ahead and get your panel pull tool and slip open this little door right here. And that's going to allow you to get to the 3 screws. There's 3 7mm screws, one here, and one here. So you're going to go ahead and take your socket wrench. There's 1 screw. There's the 2nd screw. And there's our 3rd screw. Okay, that's going to allow us to loosen this up. Okay, so we'll come over to the driver's side where the push-to-start button is and start to pop this panel off here. By doing so, it's going to allow us to expose the portion of the dash right here. See, and what that does is it allows us to bend out this portion of the panel to expose this push-to-start button right here. This is the connector we're using for our T-harness. Okay, so we're going to go ahead at the back of the push-to-start. There we go. So take that, you're going to take the female end of our T-harness, snap that into place. Then we're going to take our male end of our T-harness and plug that into the push-to-start button. That completes that connection right there. Okay, to get to the axis of our can connections that are going to need to be made, we're going to go ahead and remove this glove box. You'll take the arm, you're going to pull it up towards you, and that'll pop it right off. Then fold in the box, there's a clip right here at the top, and the glove box will come right off. You can sit here on the floor. That's going to access both the green and white banks for the can connections. Okay, we're going to need to feed the T-harness from the push-to-start button across this portion of the dash into the glove box area. So this hole right here is where we're going to push through the T-harness and access out through the glove box side. All right, so we're going to take the T-harness here and we're going to fit it into the hole that we showed you. Once we get it into this hole, we're going to grab it from the other side to fish it through. All right, so we're going to go ahead and grab our cabling here that we're able to fishtail through, and that's perfect right there. All right, so we have the can bank connections. In the CHR7B T-harness, you're going to take the white 2-pin connector, you're going to plug it into the green bank. Then you're going to take the green 2-pin connector and you're going to plug that into the white bank, like so. Okay, I want to point out before we start our programming that on the 20-pin connector, there are extra wires that are not needed for this install. So I'm simply going to take my wire cutters, clip these loose. I'll tape those away when I do the reassemble. Okay, now we're ready to program the module. You press and hold down the program button. While holding down the program button, plug in the black 4-pin connector. The lights are going to start to alternate. We're going to let go on a solid single blue light. All right, we're let go there. Now we're going to go ahead and plug in the rest of our connectors. Red 6-pin, the white 20-pin, and then the white 5-pin. So now that everything's plugged in and lit up, we need to press the push-to-start button 2 times. 1, 2. Then we press the program button on the module 1 time. The light will go out. We're waiting for it to come back on. It'll be flashing. There's our flashing blue. Now we need to turn the push-to-start button off 1 time. Okay, so now we have the red and yellow flashing. We're ready to do the decryptor. To take it to the decryptor, we have to unplug the connectors. When unplugging the connectors, you unplug the black 4-pin last. So unplug these 3 connectors, the 2 whites, the 1 red, then unplug the black, and you're ready to take it to the decryptor. Okay, before we start our decryptor, you have to download the FlashLink Manager 4 program and install it onto your computer. Refer to your tip sheet for the login and password to load up your FlashLink Manager program. Once you got it up and loaded, you're going to go ahead and take your FLL, you'll plug it into your USB port. It'll detect it from the FlashLink Manager program. It'll go green, blue, red, and stay on red. Then you take your module, plug in your module, FlashLink Manager will go green, the module will go red, and the FlashLink program will pick up and load. Okay, so everything is loaded up here. It's loaded up our Jeep Wrangler. All we need to do is to go to the Decryptor tab, select that. You're going to select Send Data. What this is going to do is it's going to start to read the module and write the key code. You'll get some 0s and 1s. This will take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending upon your internet speed. Okay, it is now writing the code to our module. Okay, the decryptor is completed, so now it tells us to disconnect the module from the computer, take it back to the vehicle, and complete your install. All right, now we're ready to reconnect the module to the vehicle. When doing so, we're going to plug in the black 4-pin connector first, the white 20-pin, the red 6-pin, white 5-pin. All right, we're going to do a quick test start. So it's lock, unlock, lock. I'm going to activate the remote start. Perfect. So the vehicle started, everything's up and running. Go ahead and step on the brake pedal, that'll cancel it. Perfect, now we're ready to put everything back together. Okay, to remote start the vehicle, we press lock, unlock, lock. That's going to go ahead and start the vehicle for us. Perfect, so now that the vehicle's running, to get into the vehicle and do a takeover, you press unlock. You'll open the door and enter the vehicle. Once you've got into the vehicle, simply step on the brake pedal. You can now put the vehicle in gear and drive away.